Hey guys, it's Medicosis Perfectionalis resuming our discussion about pulmonology topics. We have talked about acute epiglottitis before. I've talked about Croup before. I have had a mnemonic about acute epiglottitis, another crazy mnemonic about Croup. Today we'll compare between them. Acute epiglottitis versus Croup. Which one is more common? Croup. Which one is more dangerous? Acute epiglottitis. Croup is caused by a virus. Acute epiglottitis is caused by a bacteria. What kind of virus? Parainfluenza virus, which is a paramyxovirus. Is it DNA or RNA? And the answer is RNA. Is it positive sense or negative sense? And the answer is it's negative sense. What is the bacteria that cause acute epiglottitis? There are lots of them, but especially you should remember the Haemophilus influenza B. Is it gram positive or gram negative? It's gram negative. So a negative bacteria, gram negative, and a negative sense virus. Which one should you suspect first? Acute epiglottitis, because you need to rule it out first, because it's more dangerous. The kid is drooling. It's an emergency. You have to intubate or tracheate. Now with that being said, now let's get started. Acute epiglottitis versus Croup. Let's talk about age. 3 to 7, so slightly older than Croup. Croup, 3 months to 3 years, so slightly younger than acute. This is trivial, I don't care. What is the cause? Haemophilus influenza B, especially if the kid is unvaccinated. Staph aureus, strep pneumo. Here in Croup you have parainfluenza virus, adeno, remember conjunctivitis, RSV, and historically it was diphtheria. Course and duration. This is rapid onset and rapid course, very short duration. It's very acute. The patient can die within a day. So please be careful. It's a true emergency. This is kind of slow. It takes days until it becomes symptomatic. It takes days until it becomes more symptomatic or severely symptomatic. Season, this is year round, and this is cool months during fall. Acute epiglottitis is rare. Croup is commoner. This is less common but more dangerous. This is more common but less dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Emergency, block the airway. Asphyxiation. Symptoms, shortness of breath. The kid is sitting still, looking ill, with sore throat. In Croup, you have rhinorrhea, mild cough, hoarseness, also known as dysphonia. Any disease that involves the larynx can lead to hoarseness. Signs, you have fever, drooling, no cough, dyspnea, tachypnea, respiratory distress, tripod position, which means sitting and leaning forward, neck or intercostal retractions, and this is a sign of respiratory fatigue because of the shortness of breath and the respiratory distress. The voice is muffled. Here we have fever, coryza or coryza, which is rhinitis, seal barking cough. The kid prefers to be kept upright, neck or intercostal retraction, and the voice is like a seal. How about fever? Both of them have fever, but in acute epiglottitis, it's high-grade fever. This is low-grade fever. What do you mean by high-grade? I mean like 104 Fahrenheit and more than 40 Celsius, or 40 like this. Both of them have stridor. Inspiratory stridor. Cough? No cough. Here, yes, it's a seal barking cough. Most of the questions on your exam, especially in step 2, are here. So, diagnosis, both of them are clinical diagnosis. Don't be fooled. The diagnostic x-ray, you look at the lateral view in acute epiglottitis to look for the thumbprint sign. In case of Croup, you look at the posterior anterior to see the steeple sign. Does it require intubation? Acute epiglottitis? Absolutely yes, all the time. Croup? Sometimes it requires intubation. How can you know? Cyanotic kid, pale, hypoxic with low oxygen saturation, which is the same thing as percent saturation of oxygen. What's the initial test? First, it's a clinical diagnosis. If you're going to do a test, laryngoscopy, because we're going to intubate. In Croup, clinical, then you do the neck x-ray to find the steeple sign. What's the most accurate test? Gram stain culture, because it's stupid bacteria. PCR, because it's a stupid virus. What was the bacteria? Haemophilus influenza B. What was the virus? Parainfluenza virus. What's the best initial treatment? Intubation or tracheostomy. Here, humidified air, nebulized epinephrine, etc. What's the definitive treatment? Secure the airway and give antibiotics. Here you can give inhaled steroids such as budesonide. Let's be honest, you're struggling to learn about Legionella, Mycoplasma, Pseudomonas, rhinovirus, and all of these crazy bugs. Check out Picmonic. They have pictured mnemonics, and they are amazing. The link is in the description below. If you want to help me produce more videos in the future, please consider supporting this channel on Patreon, and I will send you my PDF notes and my cases and then my audio notes and my videos. Like I have premium videos that are not available on YouTube. They are just for people who subscribe on Patreon. So please subscribe and join the tribe. Hit the bell to get notified. Follow me on Facebook. I have more than 100 cases there, and you can get all of my notes and my cases. As I mentioned, they are organized in Dropbox folders, and they are beautiful. Thank you for watching, beautiful people. This is Medicosis Perfectionalis, where medicine makes perfect sense. Until next time, please be safe, stay happy, and study hard.